I'm in Oban on top of Pulpit Hill on a damp and misty day. And in the 1934 diary of she and me, the ladies talk about arriving here in Oban and absolutely thrilled. It was a fine day, they said. Yeah, and in approved tripper fashion, we sauntered out complete with camera and apple tarts, which we devoured in a shelter. That's the apple tarts, not the camera. We strolled along the prom towards Corran Sands and Ganavan and back for high tea at 6 o'clock. I love high tea. Then we found a second pepper box, Pulpit Hill, where I'm standing now. And I can see exactly why Oban is called the Pearl of the West. Would have loved to have watched the sunset, but we reluctantly returned to the YWCA. Burn us, we had a real hot bath, this life of luxury. And today we made many promises, Kitty and Bessie and Anne say. Our next wanderings in the land of mists will start at Connell Ferry. We'll march over to Oban, sail to Skye and explore 1,001 other delightful nooks and crannies we can't find time for in this year's programme. I love this sense of adventure they have and the little joy they discover looking out here to find the fleet is in the harbour, the big old Iron Duke battleships, seaplanes and best of all, sailors. Lovely, handsome sailors. Kitty, Bessie and Anne, she and me, you are heroes. Thank you for bringing me on this wonderful adventure. First places that you come to in a town, well, you wouldn't imagine that it's going to be the post office, but it was. In the 1930s, she and me arrived into Oban and headed straight here to the post office to collect the things they'd sent on ahead and their correspondence. In other words, people wanted to get in touch and say, how's your holiday going? They would write to the she and me, care of the post office, Oban. That's amazing. I'm at Loch Awe, and it was at this place that she and me had their big adventure in 1934. It was on a day not dissimilar to today, cold and a little showery, and they arrived by train at Loch Awe and got on board the steamer Countess Bredelaine. It's all here in their lovely diary. They sailed down the loch to Ford, and it says here, very cold and showery, not at all cruising weather, but felt quite cheerful until we'd been going for a bit, and then just chippy. I like that. At Ford they got off to get warm, and they had tea and cakes and looked at the surroundings, fir plantations. They're probably second generation fir plantations now, and then got on board the boat, come back to Port Sonican, which is just over there. And that's where it says the dippy sailors couldn't make fast, so they took us over to the other side of the loch here, and there was a man there, the only other person besides us, with a whistle, which he blew for a bit, but there was no sign of the ferry, so he just mooched off, kindly leaving us with the whistle, which we blew in turns. After at least 20 minutes, a man leapt into a rowing boat and started to come across the loch. It took ages because there was a huge swell on the water. We got in, kicked off. Ooh. Just sat and giggled. She sat and said nothing. And me clung to my seat and thought, I'm scared stiff. At any second we're going to end up at the bottom of the loch, she says. But the good news is, not only do I have the diary, I also have the whistle. Let's see if it works. Makes a good sound. Can't see a boat coming yet. So they blew the whistle a bit more. And look, the ferryman arrived. Now in their diary they say they had a pink fit when they thought of one man rowing across the loch with 3 ladies and their ruckers. Well now, I've got Cliff. Did you hear me whistle?
I didn't. Now.
That's good. That would have been the size of the rowing boat.
Well, it would be. Yeah.
Bike's on board. Cliff's ready. Hershey and me ready to board.
You can get quite choppy. 27 miles long.
Wow.
But it's the longest freshwater loch in Scotland.
They had a big day that day, having gone from Loch Awe all the way down to Ford.
Yeah. I don't suppose the steamer was that fast. It would take probably 2 or 3 hours, wouldn't it? At least, yep. I would have thought.
Yep. I can just picture Hershey and me standing here, blowing that whistle, hoping somebody would turn up. And then you did.
I did.
This is Port Sonican, where Hershey and me landed, right at this jetty here, and then they put their rucksacks on. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They've got 15 miles to get to Inveraray. So they went up there, over the top, and they got there in 4 hours. We've got safely ashore on the other side. I've got Hershey and me ready to head over the tops to Inveraray. What a great adventure. I'm in Glen Aray, heading down to Inveraray with the rain stinging on my face. And I'm thinking to myself, this is Dreek, and this is the lovely main street in Inveraray. And here's the Arrochar Hotel, founded 1776. It's a beautiful hotel. And this is where my cousin Kitty, best friend Bessie and sister Anne stayed on their adventures in June 1934. They arrived in the town and went first of all to the police station to ask for digs. At the police station, they were sent to go and inquire at the George. And they were given, I think, probably the last room in the hotel that night. And let's have a little look inside here. The library. Aha! Ooh! There's a collection for bedtime reading. And a lovely private bath. Oh! Where would they go to have a wash? Well, clearly something lovely. Yep, that looks gorgeous. And the bed, let's see where they're going to sleep. Oh, that is fabulous. In fact, in the diary, it says, when we arrived, we were offered hot water bottles. It's the middle of June and they were offered hot water bottles. And being tough, we said no. We went straight up to bed, and what a bed. Oh, feather pillow and lovely eiderdown. We slept so well. It was gorgeous. We were so happy. There you go. I'm looking at this library here and I'm thinking the only thing missing is a diary like that. Yep, the diary of Hershey and me, the adventures of my cousin Kitty, and that'll tell the story of them staying here at the George on that big adventure. Now this is Inveraray jail. Right next door is the police station.
which was originally here, and it is now cell 1 and 2, and is being used as a hardware shop.
I've got to say, you look really authentically 1930s, or maybe it's 1830s.
Yeah, more 1840s.
What's your name?
My name's Bill.
Lovely to meet you, Bill.
Nice to meet you.
And thanks for showing me around Inveraray jail.
my pleasure.
And this is where the ladies turned up to ask where to get somewhere to stay.
Yep, and then they'd be directed to the Arrochar Hotel, I believe you said.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is just at the corner there.
Just come and have a little look and see if anything looks remotely similar.
That'll look a wee bit different these days, I think. So.
This is one of the original cells. It's a shop now. I'm at a wonderful place called the Tinker's Heart. And in the olden days, tinkers and other travellers would get married here at the Heart, overlooking this glorious view of Loch Fyne. It's a fine view every day, including today in the drizzle. Tinker's Heart, what a joy. My bike is a beauty and a joy, except for one little issue, and it's here on the tyre. That is bulging, and it's ready to pop at any moment. That is a bit of inner protection, and when that pops, that will go bang, and that will be the end of my ride. I'm a little anxious about this. 1 in 5 going down somewhere called Hell's Glen with a tyre that could burst at any moment. Going to have to go very carefully. This road has the unfortunate name of Hell's Glen, but it is in fact heavenly. It winds down the valley here. I mean, it winds down the glen. In the olden days, when travellers came this way from Loch Gilpid to St Catherine's, they would stop to get a drink of water. What? In the brook? Well, you could stop at the brook, or you could instead go over the road to Moses Well. What a great name. Moses Well with the lion's head. There are coins in it. People often stop here to get a bit of luck. It was put here by Hugh the Coach. Hugh the Coach would drive his coach and horses up Hell's Glen, and there's a picture of him here, stopping here at Moses Well. And this looks like a good place, I think, to fill up my water bottle. Thank you, wee lion. There's my water bottle ready to go. And I also ought to leave something here. A Brother Martin name tag. Yeah, I'm going to put Martin Mallett's name tag just in there. That's it. I think I ought to put a couple of coins in Moses Well for good luck. There we go. Please get me down to the bottom of the hill and up to Rest and Be Thankful and into my hotel in Arrochar before the tyre goes pop. I've climbed to the top of the pass, one of the great mountain passes of Scotland. It's known as Rest and Be Thankful. And I think that's a lovely name for something as spectacular and as gorgeous as this. This area turns up in my cousin Kitty's diary from 1934, when she and her friends walked up Hell's Glen, the route I'd just come now, and got to the top here and looked at this lot and went, wow, that's where we want to climb tomorrow, the Cobbler. I can't believe after the several hundred miles of hiking and adventures that they've had, they've still got the energy to climb another mountain. I think it's brilliant. Utterly brilliant. Looking down this valley, you can see the main road here, cutting a scar in the escarpment. But down below it is this wiggly line, and this is the old military road, built in the 1700s by soldiers whose job was to cut a road into this and build a mountain pass. And when they got to the top, they put this stone in place, and it says, "Rest and be thankful." And that's really nice. Been here for a couple of 100 years, and that's what I've done now. As the mist is coming in, I've just been working in watercolour, and here's my painting of "Rest and be thankful." Exactly how I feel. Thinking of my cousin Kitty and Bessie and Anne, who walked down this valley 90 years ago, singing as they went and looking up at that big mountain there and saying, "That's the cobbler, we're going to climb that." Wow! Wow! That's toughness. I love these women. Here at Rest and Be Thankful, all along this rock, there are memorials to people. I think this is the perfect place to put a Brother Martin Mallet name tag, because my brother Martin, with his language and learning difficulties, always enjoyed a great adventure and lived his life to the full and reached his potential every day. So, Brother Martin, you're in there. You can rest and be thankful. God bless you, Ma Bubba. You, me. Now, these are the Arrochar Alps, and I'm at the Arrochar Hotel with Ali, who is busy fixing the bike. So, here's the old tube. Or is there? Yep, there is a great big hole. Put your finger right through it, it's that bad. Crikey. So, there's a new tube and a red inner sole.
It's a puncture guard basically.
And the idea is it fits in perfectly, doesn't it?
That's the idea. Finish.
Now that's looking impressive.
Yeah.
Now how does this compare, Ali, to being a graphic designer, your other job?
Outdoors, a bit more, at times a bit more zen. You're just working on a nice bit of machinery and
You think of my bike?
it's great. Suitably to me mallet.
I'm glad he said that. I'm by the Arrochar Alps. Lovely phrase for this beautiful part of the world. And in Cousin Kitty's diary, she and me came down the glen and stayed at the youth hostel, which is just over there. When I say just over there, it's actually about 3 miles away, all the way around the loch, just beyond the old torpedo testing station. I love the fact that the school had to have an extra wall built by the MOD because torpedoes kept landing in the school. Down here is the remains of the old pier, and just in front would have been a tea room where Kitty, Bessie and Anne would have had a cup of tea. When they first arrived in Arrochar, they went to the butcher's. There was a butcher's in town! Brilliant! And then they got together with their pals Don, Cliff and Bill here. Bill was nicknamed Dizzy, but Dizzy had something very special. He had a cine camera, and on the day they climbed Ben Arthur, it's behind the mist right now, the cobbler, he took a cine camera with him. Now, brilliant! Somewhere in the world there's a cine film of she and me, Don, Cliff and Bill climbing the cobbler. I would just love to see that. With this lovely photo of the 3 girls and the 3 musketeers. And when they left, they finished their 10-day holiday, having done roughly 150, 200 miles, a lot of it on foot. There was a tearful parting, it says in the diary. Sob, sob, it's time to go home. You can imagine how they felt. That lovely embrace when they say to each other, "Oh right, we'll keep in touch." But this diary was in Kitty's possession all her life. And to me it shows something of the confidence of youth. God bless you, Kitty, for bringing me on this lovely journey. And to Archie and me, I raise my cap to you and say, utterly brilliant.